Alright, well, unfortunately, I was very busy that day, and I just couldn't record all of the, procedure, so I have, skipped ahead a few days. So here I've got all my samples under mineral oil in plastic vials, some of them inside another plastic vial. And I've just left them here under oil for a few days just to see if they would oxidize any further, and so far they haven't seemed to have done that. But you know, eventually I'm going to seal them shut with epoxy just to, you know, make sure that they're perfectly sealed. But I think it's fine that, like, I've skipped a lot of the packaging and stuff, because you've seen me do that before so many times. So let's just get right into it. We'll go from the most reactive to the least reactive to the most reactive. Starting off, here we've got neodymium. See? Now, this is a large piece I couldn't quite get to fit in there, so here I've got it in this vial for now. But you can see here that, like, I tried to cut it in half with a hammer and a file, but it was kind of hard, so I just I couldn't really manage to fully cut in half, though I did, though you can see I did dent it pretty well. And yeah, even though this metal's the least reactive of them, it will still corrode over time in air, so I've got it here under oil. The interesting thing is that while I was hammering and filing this to try to cut it, I actually managed to create a few sparks on occasion. They were lime green in color. Very interesting. And you see things like that, you know that he's not just putting random pieces of steel in the mail. These are actually real exotic materials. So that's neodymium. Moving on, I've got praseodymium. Dang, it's surface of that is kind of fogged up with mineral oil, but you can see there it's sort of like tarnished and greenish. That's the praseodymium oxide. Evidently this sample must have been stored in air, because I can tell from the green oxide powder. This must have been in air for a while. But I think it's kind of pretty, but I might actually just try to cut it open just to show the shiny metal underneath eventually. So that's praseodymium. Next is cerium. Dang. Won't the camera focus? Come on. Dang. Well, this is cerium right here, and you can see I put a desiccant pack in there also, just to absorb moisture from the oil, because it will react with water. And ooh, probably just some trapped air. So yeah, that's like a big chunk of cerium. This will actually make sparks if you like file and grind it. So maybe I'll try that sometime. Perhaps maybe when I come to cutting it to get it to fit. And the last 3 samples, by the way, they were too big to fit inside their vials, so I just got them here for when I cut them. Next up, lanthanum. Again, I got another desiccant pack, and you can Yeah, you can see in there. There's a bit of white lanthanum oxide. This one I've heard is pretty soft, actually. So it'll be interesting to try to cut that. And then to the most reactive of them all. I've got a Jessica pack in there, as you can see. Not sure what those bubbles are. It might be just some hydrogen from trapped water. Maybe just some trapped air. I don't know. But anyway, this is strontium. And this one's really reactive. I was kind of afraid it would oxidize because of some oxygen diffusing into the oil, but I haven't really seen any signs of further oxidation. I mean, it looks almost exactly the same as the way it arrived in. So that's a good thing. But once again, I'll have to cut this up to fit it inside the vial. I'm not gonna take these out though until we assemble the actual wooden display. Okay, and then unfortunately I did also manage to create a lot of little crumbs and stuff everywhere while I was packaging these. And I've just got all the little crumbs in here in like in a little box. It's just the cleanup operation. I just took all the little vacuum seals and bags and stuff and put them in here just to clean it all up. The way I neutralized the strontium to get rid of all the little crumbs of strontium is that I just washed it with water, and strontium will react with and dissolve in water. That was very convenient. Of course, I wouldn't do something. I wouldn't wash something really reactive like sodium or potassium. It would be dumb and dangerous. But I think strontium's benign enough that I think washing the little crumbs is acceptable. So after that those neutralization procedures, I just like packed everything away. I cleaned up all the little vacuum packs and stuff, and inside this bag here. Well, no, sorry, this box that came in. So yeah. So those are my elements that finally arrived in the mail. I'm just going to keep them like this until we assemble the display, and then we're going to take them out and cut them into pieces and put them inside the display vials. But for now, we're just going to keep them like this just to protect them from air and moisture. So that just about wraps up this episode of Element Collecting and Display Series. So thanks for watching, and peace.